Thanks for your time. Tough day for your party.
Thanks, Todd. Yeah, well, for me personally, this is my one of my closest friends. He's become such a part of my life and my work, and for the party, a tremendous young leader. And of course, it's a sad day.
What does it mean for the Green Party to have the deputy leader step down? What's the path forward here?
Well, just to clarify, we, under our Constitution, have two deputy leaders, and our other deputy leader, I have to say, is valiantly appealing a sentence of jail time for her work as an Indigenous land defender trying to stop the logging of old growth. That's Rainbow Eyes Angela Sue Davidson. She remains deputy leader. Jonathan's resignation means that there's a big hole in what we had planned to do as a team, and we will. My job is to continue to work as leader and prepare for the next election campaign, so Canadians know that if they don't like what's on the menu, choose the old thing or the other old thing, or choose something other old thing. If you don't like what's on the menu, I want to remind people there's a daily special sheet called The Greens. Hello, we're in the elections federally and in provinces, and with provincial elections coming up this fall in New Brunswick and British Columbia, Saskatchewan. I plan to be very active in those campaigns to help our provincial cousins. In the meantime, our membership will be dealing with the question of changing the Constitution to co-leadership in the fall.
Yeah, is the party committed to that, the idea of having co-leaders?
Well, I am, but that's not the party. Our membership hasn't yet had a chance to vote specifically on that question. There's been, as we talked about at the press conference, a number of delays. We operate by consensus as a party, and the top level of power in the party rests with all of our members, and they have the right to have their say, and they haven't had that opportunity yet. So we're hopeful that the long-delayed opportunity to vote on co-leadership will occur this fall, and then we'll take it from there.
I know you've decided you're going to run again in your seat on Vancouver Island and Saanich there. Tell me whether you see other seats that there is a potential for your party to win.
Oh, yes, many. I think we're going to do better than we've ever done before because of the way the political landscape sits at the moment. Canadians are really sick of the status quo, and voters around the world are showing that they're sick of the status quo, whether it's booting out Conservatives in the UK or voting in ways that suggested different propensities in other countries in the EU elections. The one common denominator is that status quo parties and incumbency isn't that popular. We have very strong candidates that are lining up to run in seats in Ontario that I'm quite sure will win, in seats in Atlantic Canada, in Quebec, and of course in British Columbia, where we've been traditionally strong. So I'm very hopeful that we will elect far more MPs than the two of us who now do. I have to say, we continue to punch above our weight. Mike Morris, MP for Kitchener-Centre, and I have taken policies forward to become law. My third private member's bill just became law right before the adjournment a couple weeks ago. So the idea that one person, one MP can't do much, Greens keep disproving that over and over again, because unlike the other parties, we don't control what our MPs do. It's not a top-down system. Our Green MPs represent their constituents and have the support to do amazing work, and we'll just keep doing it.
Let me ask you about something that Jonathan Pedneault said today. He talked about sort of the toxicity in Ottawa and the partisan nature of politics in the capital these days. No doubt that was part of his decision, one of the elements anyway, to step away. What does that say, do you think, Elizabeth?
Well, I've been terribly saddened, as I'm sure you would know, Todd, by things like the decision of Liberal MP Pam Damoff not to seek re-election, specifically citing the toxicity and the hyper-partisan nature of things. The debates in Parliament I remember when debates were at least content-based, and you could actually engage and listen to them without feeling sick. So, not to be too grim about it, I lament that we're losing one of the hallmarks of what it is to be Canadian, which is to disagree without being disagreeable. I've clung to that. Greens, stay on the high road. That's where we live. And I will do anything in my power and any influence I have with any Canadian voter listening please get engaged, please get involved, and make sure wherever you are, every chance you get out and vote. Because Canadian politicians need to know that Canadians are watching them and judging them, and that conduct matters. And inciting hatreds is not what we do. We need to find common ground and build from there.
I know that, 5 years ago you tried to step away from politics, then you came back. I'm curious what led to your decision, Elizabeth, to run again.
Oh, I love being a member of parliament. I often say that I really don't, I recoil at the notion that I'm a politician, but I love the word parliamentarian. I feel it kind of is an exalting word as opposed to an abasing word. So I am very committed to the voters of Saanich Gulf Islands, to my home territory, and the work that voters want me to be doing on their behalf in defending our wild fisheries, in defending our endangered southern resident killer whales, in fighting for our coastlines, and fighting against pipelines, and fighting for climate action, and for social justice and affordability. Canadians are facing multiple crises all at once, coming at us all at once, and someone has to be there to say, look, there's solutions here. Let's pull together and deliver them, because that's what Canadians should be able to expect from their government. So it was never a question for me whether I was running again. I was nominated, I guess it's more than a year ago now that I was nominated to be the Green Party candidate in Saanich Gulf Islands whenever the election may take place. I'm honored to be working with Mike Morris, who's obviously running again in Kitchener Centre. But there are a lot of people whose names you're going to recognize as they come out and say, yeah, I'm a candidate, I'm running for the Green Party. And I think by the next election, whenever it happens, Canadians are going to be glad that there's something else on the menu besides the things they really are getting increasingly sick of. So let's hope we can inspire for Canadians the sense of empowerment that comes for voting for solutions and for people who are respectful and kind towards each other.
Elizabeth May, leader of the Green Party, on the day of the deputy leader, Jonathan Pedneault, announcing his resignation. Thanks for taking the time, and great to have you with us as always, Elizabeth.
Thank you, Todd.